Telecita Blanco, dear sister, and we're reading Saturnastra Marduke. This is chapter 16, part 2. His armor started turning into blades, preparing my attack. His body may have been slow in comparison to mine, however his blood was swifter. Using his blood armor, he managed to get me to draw my weapon, Lucifer. This arm, with his blade, he stabbed straight at me through the chest. I coughed the blood that fell on Bersamet's arm. It tried to wing its way from the blade. However, at its tip, it turned into a bloody arm that kept me from jumping away. Bersamet's eyes gleamed with satisfaction. His grin quickly washed away when he looked at his surroundings. He saw that he was on the moon. My figure melted off his blade like a white candle was. I materialized before him and though a few steps away. Suddenly, Bersamet's blood started coagulating. It lost its premium luster and form. Bersamet started gasping for air, and in less than 10 seconds, he had dropped dead on the floor. His face was bulging blue, and his eye sockets had exploded. He may have been my king, however, he had never learned to survive in outer space. I said to myself, it seems like you cannot survive in outer space. Like before, his messed up blood started corroding his surroundings. Around his face, white veins shine. Again, he rose, fully adapted to outer space. His armor became thinner, more compressed. Smiling in triumph, he tried to strike at me again with his blood blade. Though he was much faster, his inexperience in outer space made him run off the move and in a straight line. Tired of seeing him hovering around like a fool, in my space I jumped towards him. In vain his armor protected him. Each time I landed a blow on my side, it made him fly even further away. Seeing that this battle was not going the way I liked, I dismantled my space area. The area around this area was a place full of destruction. Within it lay a very powerful destructive spell. To keep myself from being harmed by him, I sank deeper into my third area. There was both a sky above and below, though you were eternally free falling. After 5 minutes, a puddle of blood cracked the sky of my third area. It dripped over like rain in my azure sky. This time I was attacked by pure blood. Since I was small, I was trained to dodge the rain. Therefore, I used my sight to swiftly avoid getting struck by that corrosive rain. Again, I fled even further from first into my fourth area. It was completely whitewashed. It was a clear sign that I was running out of ideas. From within it, I grabbed the third area in my hands. I compressed it into a small sphere and asked to fit in my hand. Again, the blood started seeping through the cracks of the area. I drew the compressed area away from me. Slowly, Bersamet's blood assumed his human form. While he rose, I stretched the wings of the side towards the base. Its tips became the electric strings of a harp. As he approached, I played the harp. Its strings sounded like an electric guitar. Each note emitted an electromagnetic current. Like a wave, it expanded in all directions across the emptiness. Bersamet tried to get away from its range. My aura kept him kept him still in one spot. Only I could move freely in my domain. The time?
11 minutes.
The waves made Bersamet's blood much stronger. However, when it fell, it never reached the borders of my area. The area had nothing for him to erode. In essence, it was pure nothingness. The more I played, the stronger and more unstable his blood became. Swiftly, each red blood cell started eroding one another. In essence, his disintegration power was becoming his undoing. Suddenly, the blood became pure white, and it disappeared. Bersamet had escaped from my fourth area sensed to Libra's power. Even in death, she was still helping him. I dragged him down into my fifth area. That one was my spider area. It had many invisible strings that only I could see. The strings were paper thin and could slide through anything. When I entered, I was just to see a giant hand reaching for me. Thanks to the strings, they were not able to reach me. The giant hand was ripped to ribbons by the trap, and I ran across the edge of my area to get a better look at Bersamet. He was becoming extremely unstable. He had the grotesque appearance of one of the 6 species of this world. It seemed a giant version of each was dismembered and sewn together or wrung. Among the entire mess there was a mix of dragons, beasts, chimeras, and demons. The sound that in the middle no longer sounded like a creature of this world. I pulled the master string and made all of the other strings closing around him like a trap. Again, what remained was a pool of blood. I tried striking it with a huge ray of light. However, the blast was eroded even before it struck the blood. The pool of blood eroded my area, and now I was down in my 6th area. It was an exact replica of hell. Using the sight, I summoned the 3 legions of the damned. Like bats, this horde of demons swarmed around me. From the side's blade, I made it radiate heavenly light. Recognizing the pure aura of their former master, the Legion's Fury Society. Pointing towards the approaching pool of blood, I yelled to the demons, tear him apart, body and soul. Like a swarm of locusts, the demons descended upon Bersamin. They started clawing and consuming his very essence. This time, even Bersamin's soul became like his blood. It started eroding the demons. All 3 legions, body and soul, were completely wiped out by Bersamin. My fellow readers need not worry about those pure hellions. Since they were brought by a summoning ritual, they simply went back from whence they came. Running out of options, Bersamin and I arrived at my final area. This area was a replica of the Abyss. It differed a little from my version consisted of 2 solitary islands floating over the abyss. The door I used to enter led to the world of the living. The door on the other island led to the source. Serving as a bridge, there were 10 control panels. Each one was themed after the Sephiroth they represented. They were not the original, rather, just a machine meant to replicate their powers. Time?
8 minutes.
Even though the machine was a cheap replica, the gates were summoning the original portals. With any luck, if I failed to slay Bersamin using the machine, he might be stupid enough to enter the round door and he would return to the source. With any luck, he would die or something. While that something else would depend on Bersamin's true nature. With any luck, he would become something manageable, something that I could kill. Like expected, Bersamin's blood rained over me. It started slowly eroding the machines and me as well. I felt the sprite with the side to repel. I tried to repel most of the blood with the side while I worked with the machine. The first thing I did was summon Bersamin's interior Sephiroth. As expected, he had 11 Sephiroths instead of 10. This proved to me that his true nature was evil. And since I could not defeat him, I decided to just even him out. The Sephiroth that had to go away was the extra one. Between the crown and the foundation, he had the Sephiroth of conquest. If I destroyed it using my very own sense of justice, and I might be able to win. While I waited, I also nipped his kinship Sephiroth in the bud. So it's basically trying to reprogram him at a spiritual level because he's not winning.
Yeah, just like how Kida did to Brahma.
Yeah.
We've seen that before.
Just trying to change his nature because as he is now, he's not killing it. After this version, Bersamin's blood stood in midair. It assembled like a puddle before me. From it grew the young Bersamin with his armor. He seemed a bit dazed at first, like he did not know where he was. Apparently this minor change had done wonders on him, on his desire to kill me. In a dreamy voice he asked, weren't we just fighting? Suddenly I don't feel the desire to kill you. You never wanted to kill me in the first place. You simply wanted to control me. Ah, yes, I remember, said Bersamin. Once again, he started to become imbalance again. Seeing that this reprogramming was just making things worse, I tried to empower more his good attribute. However, time and time again, his desire for vengeance and for blood and death can overpower whatever positive traits he might have had a long time ago. he said, I have seen your little trick before. My darling Libra took pride in changing people's nature. She tried to change me too. She wanted to make a better person out of me. I must thank you, Marduke. It has been quite a long time since I felt like my true self again. You realize that you cannot defeat me, so let us just end this charade. Get me out of this domain and let us return for whence we came. There are 2 doors before us. The one behind you will only open for me. The other one will open for you. But after hearing this, Bersamin went towards the door that would only open for him. As usual, his overconfidence in his powers made him make a stupid decision. Considering Libra's power, it was possible that he might survive a visit to the source. Smiling coolly, he said, I want to spring your final trap just to see the look on your face. I do so love the moment when my enemy's host finally die. I wonder how your face will look like when you're screaming for mercy. Oh yeah, time?
2 minutes.
With the day, I went to my door. While I went there, I thought much on Libra's improvements of Bersamin personality. Looking back, the old Bersamin was preferable to this bringer of death. Before I opened my door, I said, Marduke is not the kind of man who begs for mercy. I opened my portal and I stepped out into the real world. Outside, the sun was starting to set. The sky was a rosy red. A gentle breeze passed every so often. Little birds sang in the nearby tree. There was not even a smallest hint that a terrible battle had taken place. Worried about the outcome of the battle, I bled out a tiny version of my area in the form of a sphere. Looking within, I saw that Bersamin had not returned to the sword. It seemed that he had merged with it, never to return again. Yes, Bersamin and Libra had finally met their maker. Since the battle was over, I contacted Karina. She opened the area and she allowed Sivano to remember. After she delivered him, she went back to making deals with other fellow travelers. Smiling, I said, thank you. I could not have done this without you. Blushing, he said, I really didn't do anything. Just prayed like how you asked me to do. Contrary, my friend, it was your influence that allowed me to defeat Bersamin. Libra had a knack for being elusive and for always turning things in her favor. Your prayers made the impossible possible. I said this, starting to walk home. I stopped and tapped my shadow. John in my fully recuperated human form rose. Now what, asked Ivano. Now we do whatever we want, I said this cheerfully. I stretched out my hands and I sighed with relief. The guards on top of the wall started cheering when they saw me returning alive and in one piece. Without Bersamin in sight. Sivano tugged at my cape and he asked, how am I supposed to use my power? As long as you don't blow up the planet, you may use them in whatever way you desire. I responded, opening the gate. Time?
1 minute, 30 seconds.
Sivano surprised at it. I'm surprised that you did not ask me to use them for good. Look, Sivano, we all have our own sense of justice. I can't tell you how to live your life. After I said this, Sivano smiled at me in a way that showed that he understood. As for me, I am going home. Alright. That's the ending of Marduke. Bye bye and God bless.